I'm back with draft 2 of the basic principles, very much abbreviated and made more concise and even more roll off the tongue-able. I'm not changing these just to change them. I'm not saying that Julia Cameron's are no good. I'm doing it because I did change a few for myself, although I am fine with all the talk about spirituality because I am deeply spiritual. Plus, I also very much love science, and I don't see a contradiction in that. But I'm okay with saying God or source or higher self or divine guidance. I use these terms all the time. I talk to God all the time, and I say God just because it's just, you know, embedded in my brain because I was born into a Catholic family. Someone had said, and it was a minister, it is a minister, said in one of my dear friends' feeds on Facebook, where there was a conversation about interfaith and openness and inclusivity. They said that they like to say that they're an interfaith minister with, oh, they put it so marvelously, but I don't think I remember what exactly they said. I have something that's going to make me sneeze going on. I'm an interfaith minister with a Catholic bent. I think that's what he said. But I honestly wish I could remember. But, so, I am spiritual. I believe, or am open to, let's say, in a lot of things. One category, one box is too small for me. I cannot say that I am Catholic or any other religion because religions are made by humans. This is my my personal view. It does not denigrate anyone else's, and that is not my intention. I never tell other people what to believe in. Faith and belief are key in my mind, in my heart. I truly believe that faith and belief are the things. It's not about so much what you believe in, but how strongly and truly and intentionally and wholeheartedly you believe in it. So, besides the fact that some things are just flat out not true, like the earth is not flat, aside from things like that, that have been clearly disproven by science and that are clearly self-evident, I do not put my boundaries on anyone else, right? I don't put my beliefs on anyone else. I'm just telling you what I believe in. So, all of these things, the basic principles, the rules of the road, the affirmations. Then I came across, and I'm on in number 3, the rules of the road in dealing with criticism. All of these, if they mention any sort of spiritual aspect, I'm cool with it. But there are some things that I do have to change, very little. Like this is the basic principles for me. And I've just changed like 1, 2, 3 things for myself. Everything else I'm fine with. The other video where I tried to, because I wanted to be of service in helping more people get into it, since a lot of people are picking the book up now, especially a lot of young people, because Doechii has made it popular again since she went through the Artist's Way in 2020 and then got signed to 2 record labels in 2021, and the rest is history. She won a Grammy for Best Rapper of the Year this year in 2025, and she's amazing. So she has her journey up on YouTube. She never took it down, and it's just so wonderful to see. You know, each week she did the update 1 through 11. I found out there is no 12. She didn't do the 12th one. I guess she got too busy. She got signed. And it's inspirational. So a lot of people are picking it up. And then there's others that have always been every year. I mean, this has been in continual publication since 1992, and Julia Cameron has been teaching it since 1982 using Xerox copied notes, which people were clamoring for. And then her friends, a publisher and someone who worked in many different countries and would disseminate her notes because he truly believed in this process as well. And people were writing her from countries all around the world asking for copies of their own. So her publisher friend urged her to put it into a book, and she did in 1992. And there's a 30th anniversary edition, which most people are doing on YouTube. I guess most people are doing the 30th anniversary edition, but the wordage doesn't seem to have changed much. And a lot of young people are talking about how they find her language clunky and off-putting. I guess I can see some things, but I mean, you gotta get past the messenger and just try to absorb the message, because this has helped thousands upon thousands of people, like break through in tremendous ways, right? A lot of famous people count this as their stepping stone to success, and a lot of people from all walks of life. So I was just trying to starting with the basic principles. Not that I'm going to do the whole book, because that would be copyright infringement. And that's why I didn't want to even write the basic principles in the description, my version, because I don't want to overstep. But I wanted to talk about how I had changed them up to make them more inclusive for even people who are atheists or agnostic or whatever faith you follow, or no faith. It surely is possible to not believe in a creator and still be awed by the wonders of the universe and the cosmos. And it surely is possible to realize that we are part of that and made of the same material. We are made of stardust. That's a scientific fact. So you can grasp these things in a way that doesn't use spiritual talk. Although, honestly, the book is called The Artist's Way, a spiritual path to higher creativity. And chapter 3 flat out says you will be asked to consciously experiment with spiritual open-mindedness. So at this point, I'm like, well, and the whole the whole chapter is infused with spiritual talk. So at this point, I can't, I can't say that if you are really turned off by this kind of talk, that it's possible for you to change things up in a way that you'll be able to get through it. Maybe this is not the book for you. But if you're okay with ignoring if you're not spiritual, if you want nothing to do with spirituality, and if you can look at it instead as a connection to life itself and the inherent creativity in life, and that we are part of that, that we are part of the cosmos, the great, magnificent, creative cosmos. We are made of the same stuff, or at least bits of the stuff that came from out there to Earth. Earth is made of that. We are made of that. We didn't bring anything here with us. Everything, this table, the phone, the couch I'm sitting on, the clothes I'm wearing, it's made out of stuff that was already here, that we alchemized with processes that we came up with. And, worked it so that we transmuted them and made them into other things and created, plastic, unfortunately, and paper, and all the things that are man-made, right? Human-made. The material was already here. So now that I've bored you with that very long preamble, I want to say that I'm not changing these up just to be contrary to Julia Cameron. The first set were clunky, and I said as much. I said I was going to give them another pass and try to whittle them down and make them more palatable. And this is my second pass. They are just something that I felt like doing, and they might help some people out there. They're not something I'm telling you to do. And I'm saying this because someone downvoted the other one, but didn't leave a comment as to why. And so I have no idea what they were downvoting. Like, is it that I changed Julia Cameron's words? Is it that they didn't like the title because it said atheists and agnostics? Basic principles for atheists, agnostics, and everybody. Meaning not just us people who believe in God and spirituality, and I don't believe in God as like an old white man with a beard sitting up in some place called heaven. So I just want to be clear. I don't know what, I just say God as a shorthand. And not even for like she says, good orderly direction, because I can't roll that off my tongue. I just say God. Sometimes I say God as source, higher self, divine guidance. These are all cool with me. So let's get to this. Basic principles. Like I said the first time, and I'm going to link the first video to this one in the description. Creativity, the first two are cool. They don't need changing as far as I'm concerned. Creativity is the natural order of life. Life is energy, pure creative energy. How can we argue with that? Number two, there is an underlying, indwelling, creative force infusing all of life, including ourselves. Again, nothing to argue about. Number three, when we open ourselves to our creativity, we open ourselves to the Creator's creativity within us and our lives. Some people may have an issue with that, so I changed it to when we open ourselves to our creativity, we open ourselves to the creative force within life itself. When we open ourselves to our creativity, we open ourselves to the creative force within life itself. That goes with the first two. Number four, we are ourselves creations, and we in turn are meant to continue creativity by being creative ourselves. That can trigger, because people can say, well, creations of who? And also, who are we meant to be creative to? You know, who is waiting for us to be creative? Like, who meant for us to be creative? So anyway, I changed it to, we are ourselves creations of the universe, and naturally we're infused with that same creative impulse. We are ourselves creations of the universe, and we're naturally infused with that same creative impulse. So again, it's smoothly following through from 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. It's just, it falls into line so far. Number 5, I really only changed it a teeny bit for myself. This is mine. I only changed like 3 for myself. Creativity is life's, it says Julia Cameron's version is, creativity is God's gift to us. Using our creativity is our gift back to God. And I think I said the same thing in the first one, but I also added another version which was longer and clunky. But creativity is life's gift to us. Using our creativity is our gift back to life. We are still in line with 1, 2, 3, 4, and now 5. Number 6, the refusal to be creative is self-will and is counter to our true nature. I crossed out is self-will and made it the refusal to be creative is counter to our true nature. Because I can't explain to you why, but for myself, is self-will just annoyed me. It didn't add anything that I needed in there. The refusal to be creative is counter to our true nature. Short and sweet. Or you can say, if you want to be a little bit more specifically not, let me just read it because I don't even know what I'm saying. Number 6, our resistance to exploring our creativity is counter to our very nature. As extensions of the magnificently creative cosmos we're a part of. So really, it's just a rewording and an adding something that you don't even have to add. But if it sounds better, our resistance to exploring our creativity is counter to our very nature as extensions of the magnificently creative cosmos that we are a part of. So, in line with everything else. Number 7, when we open ourselves to exploring our creativity, we open ourselves to God, good orderly direction. I crossed out God, good orderly direction, and I put for myself, when we open ourselves to exploring our creativity, we open ourselves to our divine source and substance. But if you don't want to go there, you can say, when we open ourselves to exploring our creativity, we open ourselves to the truth of our nature and being. When we open ourselves to exploring our creativity, we open ourselves to the truth of our nature and being. All right? There's no break from everything else. It follows. Everything's in line with the one before. Number 8, as we open our creative channel to the Creator, many gentle but powerful changes are to be expected. I could say Creator, but I put Divine Source. As we open our creative channel to Divine Source, many gentle but powerful changes are to be expected. For me, I don't know. That makes me feel a deeper connection with a creative source, But again, if you don't want to do Creator and stuff like that, as we open our creative channel, we reconnect to our source and tap into possibilities we may never have otherwise seen. And we can expect many gentle yet powerful changes in our lives. In this case, our source is the cosmic source, the universal source, whatever that source may be. That substance that, the universe uses to create planets, solar systems, galaxies, wormholes, humans, amoebas, whatever. As we open our creative channel, we reconnect to our source and tap into possibilities we may never have otherwise seen. And we can expect many gentle yet powerful changes in our lives. You can just say, as we open ourselves to our creative channel, we reconnect to our source, and we can expect many gentle yet powerful changes in our lives, if you want to make it even shorter. Number 9, it is safe to open ourselves to greater and greater creativity. And like I said, that's my favorite one. I can't tell you why. It just feels good. I guess because it's a personal issue for me with feeling safe in putting myself out there, It is safe to open ourselves up to greater and greater creativity. And you can say that. There's nothing that is, the language doesn't have anything to do with anything that might cause a glitch to someone who has no inclinations towards spirituality. It is safe. The change. It is safe to open ourselves up to greater and greater creativity, as it means we're tapping into ourselves more deeply and authentically. So I just added something. So you can say it as is, or it is safe to open ourselves to greater and greater creativity, as it means we're tapping into ourselves more deeply and authentically. If you need a reason to, why is it safe? Like, who says? Because it means we're tapping more into ourselves more deeply and authentically. Okay? And that's safe. That's safe. Who else would you want to be? You shouldn't want to be anyone but yourself. And that's what this whole thing is about. Number 10, our creative dreams and yearnings come from a divine source. As we move toward our dreams, we move toward divinity. So then I changed it to our creative dreams and yearnings come from the very source of our being. As we move towards our dreams, we move towards the wellspring of our creativity. Our creative dreams and yearnings come from the very source of our being, that creativity in the cosmos that created everything, or that where all the stuff of life comes from. Our creative dreams and yearnings come from the very source of our being. As we move toward our dreams, we move towards the wellspring of our creativity. Granted, that last one is hard to completely remove a sense of connection with an intelligence, an overarching intelligence. However, you can leave it out. You can say 9 rules of, your 9 basic principles if it bothers you that much. So that's the basic principles. I also changed the rules of the road and the rules of the road in dealing with criticism. But I'll make another video for those two because they go together and they're not the basic principles. And this is already half an hour. So please like. If you're going to downvote, consider leaving me a message as to what your criticism is, because it might be valid, I mean, I'm open to valid criticism. Just downvoting doesn't let me know what you didn't like. So you can do it anonymously. And if it's valid and not just something ridiculous like, she said atheist, she said other faiths, like there's only one God and it's my God. Like, in that case, don't bother. And don't downvote either, because this is not the channel for that, and I didn't advertise it as that. From the beginning, I have made it amply clear that I am extremely open-minded, inclusive. I believe in a running thread through all of life. I believe we're all connected. I believe we're all one in the fabric of the universe, the space-time continuum, or whatever the heck is going on. So that's my 2 cents.